What is up, hooligans? And happy freedom. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Hooligans, where we try to make the news suck a little less. I appreciate all of you guys being here. If you're over on Rumble, please hit that like button. More likes equals more hooligans. We're going to read through the schedule really quick, and then we will be checking on all the chats. So let me know how you hooligans are doing today. Then, of course, we'll be getting things started. We're late today because I have been working nonstop on the website since last night. I only slept like 4 hours. I've been adding all kinds of new features and stuff, and so you should go get yourself a membership for jeffmaclive.com because it's the home of the hooligans. We even got free memberships over there, so go sign up for it over on jeffmaclive.com. Either way, we're going to be starting off with this first video titled, "We Risk Losing the Moon to China. Space Race Concerns Continue." I don't know, I'm not really that worried about it, but they are. We're going to be starting with some sci-fi. Then we got a video titled, "Anti-Trump Judge Releases Woman Who Threatened to Kill President Trump." They don't think it's a big deal when they're doing President Trump like that. We already know how that goes. Then we got a video titled, "Harvard Grant Funding Freeze Ruled Illegal." Of course, because these district judges are constantly standing in the way of everything that President Trump is trying to do. And speaking of lawsuits and court and all of that, this next one's DC sues Trump admin over deployment of National Guard, which I think is really weird considering the mayor of DC has been kind of praising the outcome of the federal takeover of DC, but now they're going to start a lawsuit, so, you know, why not? Then we got our midlife break, our funny video halfway through. This one was provided by Get Some, and it's titled, "Coming Through." Then getting back in the news, we got a video titled, "State to Launch West Coast Health Alliance for Vaccine and Public Health Guidance." This is some straight commie shit. This is pure propaganda. The whole video is propaganda. They are taking over the left coast, which is really interesting. And we're going to play these two videos back to back. That's about commies taking over the left coast. The second video is RFK Jr. fires back at Elizabeth Warren saying, "You've taken $855,000 here from pharmaceutical companies." They're trying to call RFK Jr. a liar. Elizabeth Warren is manipulating what he's saying. I mean, just in the video, she's manipulating what he's saying. But she's just trying to justify calling him a liar. It all has to do with trust the science. So we're going to just go ahead and play those back to back. Then we got a video titled, "Massey Promises Epstein Transparency." Massey's talking about him and MTG going down on the House floor and saying the list of names out loud that'll be provided by the survivors of Epstein and all of that. That's an interesting video. Then we got a video titled, another doubly here. It's titled, "UMass Lowell Campus Lockdown Lifted After Report of Person with a Gun." The report was from yesterday. I don't think we covered it. I'm not sure why, but school went into lockdown yesterday. Today we got more information. The second video is titled, "New Videos Show Boy with an Airsoft Gun That Triggered UMass Lowell Security Scare." Then we'll be moving forward to this next video titled, "Woman's Face Broken in Chicago by Repeat Offender with 13 Mugshots." This is because we have a lack of accountability here. Then the last little bit of the news, of course, is lefties losing it. And this one's titled, "NBC Regrets Taking on JD Vance." Then we'll begin in the fun stuff. We'll be opening today's door of the Advent Calendar sent by Tori Wayne. Then we got our two funny videos of the day. First one was provided by Simply Witchy, and it's titled, "Breaking News." And our official funny video of the day was provided by 10 Man, and it's titled, "Early Bird Gets the Worm." And that video is really funny. All of that's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat and see how you hooligans are doing today. What is up, everyone over on jeffmaclive.com. I know you guys have been waiting on me all day. I was watching you pop up in the chat. I really appreciate you guys being so patient. What's up, Hair Juicer? What's up, Simply Witchy? What's up, Matt Rogers? What's up, Snooks? What's up, Live Review? What's up, Russell? What's up, Guess Some? Happy freedom, you hooligans. Appreciate all of you guys being here on the website. Snooks, oh, I got you. Happy freedom to you. What is up, everyone over on Rumble? Ramsey, you were first today. Happy freedom to you, and thank you for racing to the chat, Ramsey. Appreciate you being here. What's up, Kevin? What's up, Maggie? What's up, Turbo? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Major? Happy freedom to you. What's up? I almost said what's up to the Rumble bot. Good Lord. What's up, Peyton? Happy freedom. What's up, Magic Moon? What's up, Plastic Quack? What's up, MU? If I can get you already. Happy freedom to you. What's up, Aco? Appreciate you sliding through. You hooligans, hit that like button. See if you can get us on the front page of Rumble. And what is up, everyone over on Kick? What's up, Meta? What's up, Crispy Sunshine? Happy freedom, you hooligans. Appreciate all of you guys being here on Kick. Oh, I appreciate you, Meta. Thank you. And what is up, everyone over on Kick? Happy freedom to you. Matt Rogers, you're omnipresent. Appreciate you. What's up, Southern Eagleman? Happy freedom. What's up, Tony Rich? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Jay Blazer? Happy freedom. And what is up, everyone over on the Goof Tube Steak? You were first over here. Happy freedom to you. What's up, Brad? Matt Rogers, you are truly omnipresent. Appreciate you. What's up, Nick? What's up, Tony Rich? Appreciate you being omnipresent. Happy freedom to you. What's up, Samantha? Happy freedom. What's up, Cheeky Chops? Happy freedom. And what's up, Teasel? Appreciate you being here. And what is up, everyone over on X? Happy freedom to you, hooligans. All right. Goodness, I cannot clear my throat. We're going to be moving forward here and getting into things. Like I said, we're going to be starting off this first video saying we risk losing the moon to China. Like I said, I ain't worried about it, but they are. Space race concerns continue. Let's go ahead and get this pulled up. Do the thing. Or else. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Either way, before getting into this first video here, I want to remind you, hooligans, we have these Hooligan Strong t-shirts. Now, we will have a brand new design tomorrow. Alistair just dropped it off to me and it looks fantastic, so I'm really excited to show you guys that. But today we're going to be showing off this Hooligan Strong t-shirt. This design does come in shirts for men, shirts for women, tank tops for men, tank tops for women, pullover hoodies, zipper hoodies, coffee mugs, dog tags. We've made steel tumblers out of this design. Today I got on the plain Jane JeffMAC t-shirt. We got lots of items and lots of designs over in the merch store. I'm going to be dropping all these links in the chats while we're watching this first video.
Our leadership in space is under threat. That is the warning today from top NASA officials and a former NASA administrator.
That's right. West News Space Coast reporter Megan Moriarty is live for us right now with the clear message from those leaders. China is surging.
Summer and Nancy, the message was clear. Without a successful and fully funded Artemis program, we risk losing the moon to China. However, there are still concerns around the setbacks and the excessive cost tied to space exploration. It's getting down to the wire, and the country that lands on the moon next could hold the power, shaping the rules of space for decades to come.
Their intent is clear, their progress is real, and time is not on our side. This is a race that the United States cannot afford to lose.
During a Senate committee meeting on Wednesday, key witnesses testified before lawmakers urging them not to cut back funding for space exploration. This comes after criticism over the excessive cost and delays in components for NASA's Artemis program.
We're talking about now an agency that has less than 1/3 of 1% of the federal budget. And by the way, if you go back to Apollo, it was somewhere between 4% and 5%. So we are significantly smaller.
Most notably, we heard from former NASA Administrator Jim Bridenstine, who acknowledged the concerns over money, but says the program is essential, not just to beat China to the moon, but for overall scientific development.
We had a drug, a Merck drug, Keytruda, which is for lung cancer. And we were able to make that drug so that instead of trying to find out if within 2 or 3 months if it's going to be efficacious, you can find out within 2 to 3 weeks whether or not it's going to be efficacious.
Former NASA Administrator nominee Jared Isaacman also weighed in on X, saying in part, it is good to see NASA getting some well-deserved attention, but adding that we should be asking why taxpayers have spent $100+ billion trying to return to the moon, saying the SLS is extraordinarily expensive and Orion has issues. The suits are not ready and the landers are not ready. Isaacman also highlighted that NASA can get help from private industry, so this way the taxpayer isn't fronting most of the cost. Now, while this is an important discussion that will continue, it seems to be clear that there also needs to be some backup plans in place. Another committee meeting is not on the schedule just yet. Covering the Space Coast, Megan Moriarty, West 2 News.
Okay, so getting some space out of the way there. I don't know, I don't really like covering the space videos because then we just end up with a giant debate if space is real and if the earth is flat and whatever. Either way, they're saying that they had a Senate committee meeting and witnesses testified urging them not to cut back on funding, saying without a successful and fully functional Artemis program, we risk losing the moon to China. China's going to steal the moon from us. There are concerns around setbacks and excessive costs of space exploration. They say space exploration is important to the advancement of science. We covered a video a few months ago that was talking about how they're creating antibiotics and cures in space because of anti-gravity and all kinds of other reasons. Apparently we can create medicine in space that we are not able to create here on Earth. Then they go on to mention that taxpayers should be asking why we've had to pay more than $100 billion trying to return back to the moon, mentioning that the required gear isn't even ready for space exploration. So it seems like a waste of money, but at the same time, they're worried about China taking the moon from us. And I still don't understand that. Not at all. Either way, next up, we got anti-Trump judge releases woman who threatened to kill President Trump. It's just the way people are. I'm surprised they didn't throw her a parade. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about all this space talk. What's up, Relax? Happy freedom to you. Relax. What's healthy? What are you talking about? Magic Moon, suits were ready in the 1970s, but not today. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We were ready back then. We're not ready now, though. They caught us when we weren't ready. We still need money, though. We need all the money. Meta was watching live replays on Rumble. What's with the one thumbs down every live? I don't get it. We're covering news. It must be Trump hate. No, it's hate for me. Nobody's that dedicated. It's either somebody in the chat that is just enjoys doing it just because everybody asks about it, which is a real possibility, or it's somebody that just hates us because one day I rubbed somebody the wrong way and they can't get over it, and it happens. I don't know why. A lot of times it's a misunderstanding. I've had people leave and hate me because they thought I said something that I didn't even say. So, I don't know. This shit happens. I feel like I'm a pretty reasonable person. And if people have problems, they should bring it to my attention so we can work on it. But instead, they'd rather be mad and hit the thumbs down and whatever. Whatever's whatever. Jay Blazer, so there's a moon race again. What a load of BS. Yeah, I don't know why it's important that we're on the moon. I don't understand that at all. What's up? I like salt. Happy freedom to you. What's up, Visions? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Light Rain? What's up, Junie Bug? Happy freedom. Visions, I heard earlier that NASA owns the pyramids, and if so, what the hell is in there? I've never heard that before. That is interesting. I actually want to look that up after the live. What's up, Damon Walker? Happy freedom to you. I like salt. Musk can get us to the moon cheaper. Yeah, and reliably. They weren't able to get those astronauts back. They were stranded for 8 or 9 months or whatever until Elon decided to do the thing. What's up, JP? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Drob? Happy freedom to you. Or somebody's trying to be funny with the thumbs down. Yeah, it could be. Damon Walker, we can't please everybody. I know, but I try really hard. I make feedback forms and everything. I try really hard. Snooks. Yeah, no, I think somebody's intentionally doing it. I don't think it's just a random person thumbs down in our shit. Guess you own the pyramids? I figured. I figured. What's up, Shane? Happy freedom. What's up, Cass? Happy freedom to you. You both showed up at the same time. Where were you guys? Where were you? What's up, Campfire? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Marsh? Happy freedom to you. Kevin, do you guys have hide behinds where you hooligans are? They are thin, great things that hide behind things when you look at them. I have no idea what you're talking about, Kevin. You're going to have to post it over in the Discord and tag me. All right, hooligans, we're going to move forward here. Like I said, anti-Trump judge releases woman who threatened to kill President Trump. I'm not really shocked by any of this. I'm not shocked that people are threatening to kill President Trump because those people exist. I'm not shocked that some bastard judge let this person out of jail after they decided to do it. I'm just simply not shocked anymore. Either way, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the commie tube, and let's get into this.
An anti-Trump activist judge who's notorious for blocking President Trump's deportation orders has just released a woman who allegedly threatened to kill the president. According to a report, District Judge for the District of Columbia, the infamous James Boasberg, quietly let a 50-year-old Natalie Rose Jones walk out of jail under electronic monitoring. The report says that just a few days before she was released, Jones was denied bond over alleged threats she posted online, writing, quote, "I literally told FBI in 5 states today that I'm willing to sacrificially kill this POTUS by disemboweling him and cutting out his trachea with Liz Cheney and all the affirmation present. Let's deal with this and restore domestic tranquility," end quote. The woman told Secret Service agents earlier this month that she would, quote, "carry out the mission of killing," end quote, Trump with a, quote, "bladed object," end quote, if she were given the chance. Well, according to the report, Judge Boasberg ordered that Ms. Jones shall then drive directly to New York City, taking only reasonable rests along the way, and arriving in New York City to meet with her psychiatrist, shocking, prior to 5 p.m. on August 27, 2025, and then shall follow the remainder of the conditions of the release set forth in the order setting the conditions of the release. Okay, that was a mouthful, and I apologize for that, Reagan. Let's just go down the line here. Like, you threatened to kill the president in a very graphic way, and you get to go home?
I'm so sick of both.
All right, like I said, not necessarily shocking, but definitely not right. Not by any standard. Corrupt judge lets this psycho out of jail after threatening to kill President Trump. And he's the same piece of shit judge that we had to cover a lot while President Trump was going to court over and over again. So like I said, not exactly shocking, but apparently corruption is still alive and well over there. Next up, Harvard grant funding freeze is ruled illegal because these district judges have to stand in the way of everything that President Trump does. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat real quick and see what you hooligans think about this anti-Trump judge and this psycho that he just let out of jail. Here, juicer. Coworker gave me more Reaper and seeds. Those things are hell. Yeah, you look like you were suffering. It was rough stuff. You're really making me think about this hot chip here. I don't know what I'm signing up for, because you look like you were suffering while eating that Reaper pepper. Those things look wicked here, juicer. Matt Rogers sounds like the type of person that needs to be free. Yeah, exactly. I'm surprised they didn't draw pictures in their book or on the wall or into somebody's face. Person sounds like a total psychopath. Campfire, same judge on all these cases, just stupid. Yeah, I agree. I don't think any of this stuff should be taken seriously or is in any effect on law at all. It's obviously biased. It's obviously not just, you know. Ramsey, the true leftists are completely insane. There hasn't been any question about that for years. Yeah, the only problem is that nobody does anything about it. We've just kind of been like, oh yeah, that's the way that the left coast is. Like, it shouldn't be that way. Need to clean these places up. What's up, Tony Rez? Happy freedom. Kevin, you love coconut? Not me. You get my share of the coconut. Kevin, you got macaroons. Isn't that the leader of France? Mm-hmm. Told Kara, wow, she's got an explicit plan. Yeah, and then the judge frees her. It just doesn't make any sense. You hooligans, we gotta get these likes up. They are too low. Also, go make yourself a free account for the website, because I've been working my ass off, and I want you guys to use it. Like I said, it's free. You get a free little taste. Go do the thing. Meta, someone said put data centers in space, the moon. I don't know if that's even possible. I didn't think about that. We covered a video talking about putting nuclear reactors in space. That's what our government wants to do. And I think it has something to do with cooling. So I don't know if that's connected to data center stuff or what, but they got big plans for space. I know that. Crispy. I swear they just want Trump to die, plain and simple. Yeah, they do. But they're also saying to kill billionaires and stuff. And I like, what does that do? What does killing billionaires do? I just don't understand how that puts money in your pocket. These people are just flat out crazy. Jay Blazer, remember when they said about going to the moon again? We forgot how to do it. Yeah, well, and they keep planning to go back to the moon or whatever, but then they keep delaying and rescheduling the event, which doesn't make any sense. What's up, Parabellum? Happy freedom. Brad, it's called accountability and there is none, so what does anyone expect? It's true. It is true. We're lacking accountability. We just do not have it. Guess if they're only killing billionaires, then we should all be safe. I suppose you're right, guess All right, hooligans, moving forward here. Like I said, this next one is Harvard grant funding freeze ruled illegal. Come on, come on. All right, more problems with district judges. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already. And let's get into this.
Well, a federal judge in Boston has ordered the Trump administration to unfreeze nearly $2.2 billion in federal grants to Harvard. Yesterday, a U.S. district judge ruled the freeze and termination of those grants illegal, calling it retaliatory and blocking such actions in the future. The Trump administration has said it froze the funds because of Harvard's lack of response to anti-Semitic incidents on campus. Now, while the judge agreed that the university should have done a better job of dealing with the issue, there was little in connection between grant-funded research and anti-Semitism at the school.
Now, that's an interesting story. Very contradictory. They're saying that federal judge orders the Trump admin to unfreeze almost $2.2 billion in federal grants for Harvard. The judge says it's retaliatory and that he can't freeze funds in the future. Then they turn around and say that the judge agrees with President Trump, but then rules that Trump can't provide consequences for their actions. So it's too bad that they don't protect their students, but we should still give them tax dollars. That doesn't make any sense to me. Anything to stand in the way of what President Trump is doing. Either way, next up we got DC sues Trump admin over deployment of National Guard. We're just going to go ahead and jump right into this. Why not? First it wasn't okay, then it was okay because they were actually cleaning up crime. Now it's not okay again. Now that the crime is cleaned up. I don't know. Once again, this is DC sues Trump admin over deployment of National Guard.
And welcome back to Live Now from Fox. This news broke a little bit earlier in the day, but we wanted to bring it to you here on Live Now from Fox. And I wanted to give you a live look at the White House right now, as we did learn a little bit earlier today. The District of Columbia sued to stop President Trump's deployment of National Guard troops during his law enforcement intervention in Washington, with the city's top legal officials saying the surge of troops amounts to a forced military occupation. Brian Schwab, he's the district's elected attorney general, said in the federal lawsuit that the deployment, which now involves more than 1,000 troops, is an illegal use of the military for domestic law enforcement. Let's share that post with you here on your screen right now as you are taking a look there from Attorney General Schwab there. President Trump has already said he plans to send the National Guard into Chicago and Baltimore despite opposition in those Democrat-led cities. And the White House said deploying the Guard to protect federal assets and assist law enforcement is within President Trump's authority as president. Now, I did want to read you quickly here what you are seeing on your screen, saying from Schwab, we are suing to block the unlawful deployment of National Guard troops to D.C. Armed soldiers should not be policing American citizens on American soil. The forced military occupation of the District of Columbia violates our local autonomy and basic freedoms. It must end. Members of the D.C. National Guard have had their orders extended through December. That's according to a Guard official. And while that does not necessarily mean all those troops will serve that long, it is a strong indication that the role will not wind down anytime soon. And here's some of that footage that we have gotten here over the past several days and weeks. A federal judge in California ruled on Tuesday that President Trump's deployment of National Guard troops to Los Angeles after protests over immigration raids in June was illegal. It does not directly apply to Washington, where the president has more control over the Guard than in states. Several GOP-led states have added National Guard troops to the ranks of those patrolling the streets and neighborhoods of the nation's capital. Schwab's filing contends that the deployment also violates the Home Rule Act, signed by President Richard Nixon back in 1973, and wrongly asserts federal control over units from other states. This lawsuit, of note here, this is the second from Schwab, whose office is separate from Washington's federal U.S. attorney, a presidential appointee, against the Trump administration. Since Trump asserted control over the city's police department and sent in the Guard, those actions have been with protests from some residents. President Trump has said the operation is necessary to combat crime in the district, and Mayor Muriel Bowser, who's a Democrat, has pointed to a steep drop in offenses such as carjacking since this all began. Violent crime has been an issue in the capital for years, though data showed it was on the decline when President Trump intervened with that executive order on August 11th. So we are following that breaking news here. The District of Columbia suing the Trump administration over the deployment of the National Guard. We'll continue to follow that here for you on Live Now from Fox.
Okay. So like I said, D.C. getting bent out of shape because President Trump cleaned up D.C. Shit doesn't make any sense. I guess today is just don't make sense day. I guess. I don't know. Either way, they're saying that D.C. is suing the Trump admin to try and stop the deployment of National Guard to D.C. There's currently more than 1,000 troops there. D.C. is saying that this is a forced occupation because of the amount of troops that are deployed. They're just a bunch of idiots. They should be thanking President Trump for cleaning up D.C. because apparently they couldn't do it without him. Either way, we got our midlife break coming up next. It's our funny video halfway through. Today it was provided by Get Some, and it's titled Coming Through. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about DC suing Trump because they're extra butthurt. Were you tired? Were you sleeping on your head? Yeah, you need to get up there. You're falling off your tower. Man, Rogers, if all these judges can just stop everything that President Trump does, why do we even have one? What a joke. I agree. I don't understand the point of having a president if what he says doesn't go. I mean, I don't really want a dictator, but at the same time, he said he was going to do this stuff. We voted for him because he was going to do this stuff. Now that he's doing this stuff, they're standing in the way of it. That shit doesn't make sense. Like, it shouldn't be like questioning his authority because we don't have a dictatorship. It should be considered them interfering with the federal agenda here, in my opinion. I guess they can fund the Klan and the Nazi Party then. I mean, they might as well, if they're, against Jewish people, they might as well just fund them all. Guess I'm a dictator, not a dictator. What's up, Scott? Happy freedom to you. Major, their agenda is sabotage. You are not wrong. Magic Moon, Trump is stepping on their toes, aka territory, and it makes them look bad, which they are, by the way. Yeah, it's true. Kevin, feel like I got motion sickness now. Why is that? What are you doing? Cass, thank you so much for joining the website. You're a badass. Kevin, the flashing lights on the screen? Yeah. Magic Moon, who's paying these judges? It's got to be Soros. I can't imagine it'd be somebody new, but, maybe it is. Campfire, if the guy in DC AG, then what is Janine Pirro's title? Let me look it up really quick because I don't know what it is officially, but we're going to find out. She's the United States Attorney of District of Columbia. And what were you asking? The Attorney General. She's just the attorney? I don't know. Okay, so what is the difference between the United States Attorney of D.C. and the Attorney General? Okay. The OAG prosecutes certain adult misdemeanors and handles local civil matters, while the USADC has authority over federal crimes and serious local offenses. So what? It's just two people doing the same job? You take this half of the workload and I'll take the other half. That's what it sounds like to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm misinterpreting that. Guess where is Russell? Russell's probably mad at me because I was late. He gave me so much shit last Friday about being late all the time, and I've been trying so hard to be on time, and today I really fucked up. I did. I got carried away working on the website. I was having too much fun. It's my fault. But man, I was on time earlier in the week. He wasn't even here. So I don't know. He's probably mad at me. It's gonna give me an ear load tomorrow. A load right in the ear. You guys heard that right. What's up, guys? Happy freedom. Kevin, I hate motion sickness. I've had it ever since I was little. I couldn't even ride on the school bus without getting sick. Yeah, I'm kind of like that too. I used to get car sick all the time, and now as an adult with my bad eyes, I get motion sickness all the time. Even if I'm playing Fallout, sometimes I get motion sickness just from the walking. Me and WMM, we were playing Farm Simulator 2024 or 2023 or whatever the last one was, and I had to stop playing that because it was giving me motion sickness. You know how stupid that is to get motion sickness from a video game? That's how you know I'm getting old. I'm getting old. Guess Russell must be the thumbs down button hitter. He might be. I don't know. It could be. What's up, Cricket Kiss? Happy freedom to you. Campfire. So he's suing and she has no say in the matter, I guess. I guess. I don't know. It sounds like it's going to end up being void. If we got two people doing the same damn job, one person, Puro or whatever her name is, she's the person handling the federal stuff, I assume it's going to cancel itself out, but we'll see. What's up, Gina? Happy freedom to you. I got to write back. I can't even think of his name. Handy News. I got to write him back. He wrote me, and I just remembered right now. So I need to do the thing. You guys got to remind me later on. What's up, Patriot Dad? Happy freedom. What's up, Shauna Vision? Happy freedom to you. Thank you so much, Southern Eagleman, for the bits over on Twitch. Really appreciate the support. Thank you, Southern Eagleman. Jay Blazer, who asked these judges to rule on anything? Nothing but theater, and we're the audience. Yeah. Well, and I don't even understand why it keeps happening. What's up, Rich? Happy freedom to you. SCOTUS already ruled that these district judges cannot interfere with the Trump administration's agenda. That's why they were able to go back and look at the executive orders that were knocked down by district judges and review them to put them forth once again, is because of the SCOTUS ruling. And then some time passed, and now the district judges are just standing in the way, and everybody's listening again. I don't understand why they even give it the time of day. SCOTUS already ruled on it. So, like, what's the point of even participating in the bullshit? Like, these district judges can say whatever they want to and then just go, oh, that's a cool story, and then continue doing what you're doing. I just don't understand. Cheeky Chops, you're a legend. I appreciate you being here. Parabellum, isn't DC under federal oversight anyways? I think so, but I don't know. The more I hear about DC, the less I realize that I know. No, I realize it's the less I know about it. Samantha, They all get participation trophies, so give them their reward money even though they did bad. Yeah, that's what's going on with Harvard. You're right. What's up, Jay Spray? Happy freedom to you. Guess I got motion sickness once during sex. I was a fat girl. Riding those waves. Holy. Thank you so much, Guess Some, for that $5 donation over on Rumble. You're a badass, Guess Some. Thank you so much for the support. It says, support all Jeff's hard work on the website. Thank you, Guess Some. I appreciate you. You're awesome. Quick Kiss, Rumble's being dumb? Really? I haven't heard anybody say anything bad about Rumble in days. And I don't know if people are just scared to say something at this point or what. I thought we were running good. What did that say? Damon Walker? I was like halfway through it before you removed it. Alright, hooligans, we're going to move forward here. Major. If he's a dictator, then how come he gets pushed back or challenged? Yeah, exactly. If he was a dictator, then he would just do whatever he wants instead of taking a seat every time, you know, a district judge decides to speak up and speak out. All right, hooligans, we're going to move forward here. Like I said, we got our midlife break coming up. It's our funny video halfway through. But first, I'm going to remind you, hooligans, we're going to do more ads next week. I've done enough this week. I want to remind you, hooligans, really quick, if you'd like to join the membership program over on Rumble and become an official hooligan, all you have to do is click that big red subscribe button right below where you type in the chat. Now, if you're on Android and using the Rumble app, you're unable to see that big red subscribe button. So you got to open your browser, go to rumble.com, log in, come to the live, hop in the chat, and like I said, right below where you type in the chat, you will see that big red subscribe button. Click that button and jump through the hoops, and your name will be highlighted as an official Rumble hooligan. You'll have access to our custom emojis. We got chapstick emojis, scream and goat emojis, Klaus Daniels emojis, President Trump emojis, and more. It's a lot of fun during the live, especially during a Trump live. So definitely go join the membership program over on Rumble. Let's get this funny video pulled up. This one was provided by Get Some.
Getting bigger and
Come on,
bigger
come
every
on.
year. I mean, look at this
Hold
guy.
up. I am not ready doing all this damn talking and shit. There we go. I need to put the button on my Steam Deck here so I can do this a little smoother. Either way, like I said, this was provided by Get Some and it's titled Coming Through.
They're getting bigger and bigger every year. I mean, look at this guy walking in right now. He must weigh 400 pounds, you know? There's no way he's going to even find a seat, let alone... Oh my. Sorry, sir, you're going to... Yeah, sir, you're going to have to move to the front of the plane.
Get Some says this is why he was tardy yesterday. Getting back into the news here. Next up, we got... States to launch West Coast Health Alliance for vaccine and public health guidance. This is like straight communism. This is pure propaganda here. They're going to do lots of crying. It is the COVID cult. A whole lot of trust the science is about to happen. We're going to play this as a doubly. We're going to play that video, and the next video, RFK Jr. fires back at Elizabeth Warren saying you've taken 855,000 doll hairs from pharmaceutical companies. All of this is a bunch of trust the science. We're going to play them back to back. Let's get this first video pulled up. Like I said, this first one is just straight propaganda. They are taking over the left coast. Now hit that like button if you haven't already, and let's get into this.
And it is still very early in the process, but the goal is for states to make immunization recommendations specifically concerning COVID, at least for now. The states say the goal is that when it comes to public health, that people are protected by science and not politics. Washington is joining California and Oregon state agencies to make vaccine recommendations outside of CDC guidance. New Health Secretary Dennis Worsham says science will drive the state's public health policy to help prevent the spread of disease and prevent early, avoidable deaths.
It's been concerning to watch what has been happening over a period of time under this federal administration around the CDC and starting to remove data, starting to remove some of the science-based process that we have relied on for so many years.
It was in June the 3 states condemned Secretary Robert F. Kennedy's removal of 17 members of the CDC's Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices. The governors say that hinders the CDC's ability to prepare the public for respiratory virus season. Some Washington state nurses claim that could put a strain on their workload.
It was something that should remind all of us that nurses, physicians, healthcare providers are the ones that will have to deal with the consequences of bad decisions that are made at the top.
That's where this new alliance hopes to fill in the gaps as state health agencies review guidance from national medical organizations like the American Academy of Pediatrics, the American Academy of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, and other West Coast health agencies. Washington State Nurses Association President Justin Gill says he believes this alliance is a big win for patients and providers.
Patients who want to seek healthcare that is not biased, that is not political, and is focused on evidence.
Secretary Worsham says it's too soon to weigh in on the new COVID vaccines and vaccine availability in the state. This after U.S. regulators limited use for many Americans. He says there could be more information released in the coming days. And Secretary Worsham also adds that other than COVID, no other guidance as of now from the CDC has changed. That includes guidance on childhood vaccinations. He expects that the alliance will have more input in the coming days about when they expect to have a more firm timeline for their recommendations. For now, live in Seattle, Jackie Kent, Come On News.
All right. Come On News. That's not what she said, but that's what it sounded like she said. Either way, you feel all indoctrinated now? Isn't that nice? That's a nice little feeling there. Like I said, they're taking over the left coast. Now, before we get into this, we're going to pull up the second video before we hop in the chat here. Like I said, we're going to play these two back to back because it's a whole bunch of trust the science going on today. This is from earlier today. This is RFK Jr. getting grilled by Elizabeth Warren, being called a liar over and over again, which she's manipulating the information she's talking about. I mean, it's just, she looks like a fool. She thinks she's really doing something, but she's not. She thinks that she's like, I don't know, the white Jasmine Crockett, but she's not fooling anybody with this nonsense here. She looks very foolish. This is titled RFK Jr. fires back at Elizabeth Warren saying, you've taken $855,000 from pharmaceutical companies. Hit that like button if you haven't already. And let's get into this.
Senator Warren.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So last November, while you were under consideration to become Secretary of Health and Human Services, Mr. Kennedy, you said, quote, if vaccines are working for somebody, I'm not going to take them away. No exceptions, no ifs, ands, or buts. You would not take away vaccines from anyone who wanted them. Then last week, you announced that the COVID-19 vaccine is no longer approved for healthy people under the age of 65. In announcing the change, you said the vaccine will be available for anyone who wants it. Now, obviously, both things cannot be true at the same moment. So let's clear this up right now, Secretary Kennedy. Will you tell America that all adults and all children over 6 months of age are eligible to get a COVID booster at their local pharmacy today?
Anybody can get the booster.
I'm sorry?
Anybody can get it, Senator.
Anybody. So you're saying that is now the official rule of HHS. Anybody is eligible to get a booster by just walking into the pharmacy.
It's not recommended for healthy people.
No. If you don't recommend, then the consequence of that in many states is that you can't walk into a pharmacy and get one. It means insurance companies don't have to cover the $200 or so cost. As Senator Dr. Cassidy said, you are effectively denying people vaccines.
We're not going to recommend a product for which there's no clinical data for that indication. Is that what I should be doing?
What you should be doing is honoring your promise that you made when you were looking to get confirmed in this job.
You're going like this.
And that is, you promised that you would not take away vaccines from anyone who wanted them. You just changed the classification of the COVID vaccine.
I'm not taking them away from people, Senator.
It takes it away if you can't get it from your pharmacist.
Well, most Americans are going to be able to get it from their pharmacy for free. Most Americans will be able to get it from their pharmacy for free.
The question is everyone who wants it. That was your promise.
No, I didn't. I never promised that I was going to recommend products for which there is no indication.
When you said...
And I know you've taken $855,000 from pharmaceutical companies, Senator.
Did you hold up a big sign saying that you were lying when you said that? Because you are the one who said you would not take them away. Now, Senator Kennedy,
I'm not taking them away from anybody.
Secretary,
you want me to indicate a product for which there is no clinical data?
Senator,
is that what you want?
Secretary Kennedy, you said you wouldn't, and now you did.
I'm not taking them away. Everybody can get access to them.
No, they can't walk into a pharmacy the way they could last month and get access.
It depends on the state. It depends on the states.
A year ago,
but they can still get it. Everybody can get it. Everybody can get it, Senator.
So look, let's move on. You clearly are taking away vaccines. I've seen the list for what's coming up next, and that is the agenda for the next CDC vaccine panel. And first up is ratifying your COVID actions. Second is hepatitis B is on the agenda. So should Americans expect you to take away hepatitis vaccine access as well, even though you promised not to?
As I said, I'm not taking vaccines away from anybody.
Okay, same answer, right? You're just going to deny that when people can't get access, that you're not taking it away. Then let me ask you, is that the same game you're going to play with measles,
you want me to recommend every product in the world?
No,
so that without any clinical trial data.
Through on your promises.
Yeah, my promise was to give.
A month ago, we could get COVID vaccines by just walking.
You can still get COVID vaccines, Senator.
You are taking that away.
No, you are still. You can still get the COVID vaccines, and Medicare will still pay for them, and Medicaid will still pay for them.
Tell the head of the CDC that if she refused to sign off on your changes to the childhood vaccine schedule, that she had to resign.
No, I told her that she had to resign because I asked her, are you a trustworthy person? And she said no. So if you had an employee who told you they weren't trustworthy, would you ask them to resign, Senator?
So I'm sorry, but this is not what she has said publicly. She has said
I'm not surprised about that.
So you're saying she's lying?
Yes. Every conversation I had with her, there were witnesses.
Let me get this straight. This is the same person that less than a month earlier, you stood next to her and described her as unimpeachable. And you had full confidence in her, and that you had full confidence in her scientific credentials. And in a month, she became a liar?
Yeah, you should ask her what changed. And by the way, a month ago, you were voting against her. Oh, because you thought she was either incompetent, ineligible, or unsuited to the task.
I voted against her because I was afraid she was going to bend the knee to you and Donald Trump. And it looks like she didn't bend the knee, so you fired her. Look, you're putting America's babies' health at risk, America's seniors' health at risk, all Americans' health at risk, and you should resign.
She tried so hard. And really just smoked herself. Just made herself look like a fool. Completely outrageous. Holy. All right, well, next up we got Massey promises Epstein transparency. It's a pretty interesting video. I don't want to call anybody a grifter or anything like that, but we're going to be talking about it when we get through it. First, we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about the left coast creating their own alliance because they don't want to follow the CDC anymore, as well as Elizabeth Warren losing her fucking marbles there. Now, once again, like I said, the left coast is trying to create their own alliance on vaccines and public health guidance. It's pure propaganda from the COVID cult, and you got to trust the science or else. They're saying that Washington, California, and Oregon is forming a committee to protect the public by science and not politics. Now that's after 4 years of mandates that didn't make any scientific sense at all. Now in another video I had scanned through that came out a little bit earlier right before we launched a live, they're saying that Hawaii is also going to join those states in this alliance. Now they don't want to follow the CDC recommendations because the new CDC goes against their agenda. They want to be able to manipulate whether you feel safe or healthy. Should flee these left coast states immediately. You're living in a different version of America than the rest of us. Then going on to the Elizabeth Warren video, she's losing her marbles because she loves COVID vaccines and boosters so much. She's confusing recommendations with access throughout the entire video. He's not recommending that healthy people go and get boosters and shit like that. She thinks that that's taking away access because her brain doesn't fucking work. Now, they go on to say that she just goes on to look like a fool while manipulating RFK Jr. and the things that he said. We covered last time when she was forcing him to promise that he wouldn't be going after vaccine companies and stuff like that, where he didn't promise shit. He said that, you know, he's going to try and do what he thinks is right, basically. And she just went on to manipulate what he said to justify calling him a liar over and over and over, claiming he's breaking his promises when that's not true. Like I said, we got Massey coming up next talking about the Epstein survivors. But first, we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about all that trust the science there. Yes, I'm grifter. Matt Rogers, our babies don't need 500 vaccines. Yeah, it's true. It is true. What's up, Simply Witchy? Happy freedom to you. She won't shut up. Someone should break out the duct tape. I agree. She needs it. She's falling to pieces. Guess I don't want to hit that. I've never heard that out of you, guess Matt Rogers, over emotional woman. Yeah. Losing her shit right there on TV. Snooks, that piece of shit lied and said she was an American Indian. Yeah. I don't know who she thought she was fooling. Major, lean her up against the desk and watch her fall. Yeah, she's unfit. Goth, shingles on my bumhole is Warren's native spirit name. That is fantastic. I might just screenshot that. I love that. I think we're gonna have to. I think we're gonna have to do that. People on X they're gonna get a kick out of that. Good one, Goth. Gotta save that for later. Told to care, recommendations and accessible are two different things. Yeah, exactly. Plastic Quack, the California. Yeah, they're out there trying to get people right now. What's up, Jesus people? Happy freedom. Abortions put baby's health at risk too, right? Nah, they don't want to talk about that. Major, talking loud and saying nothing. I know, she's like the Cardi B up there. What's up, Danon? Happy freedom to you. Yeah, she was up there about to have a stroke. Going off. What's up, Dutton? Happy freedom. I'm doing good, Dutton. How are you doing today? Cass, I designed my business website myself, so I'm OCD about it and truly think yours is great. Nice work. Thank you, Cass. Yeah, I spend a lot of time working on the website. I'm kind of addicted to it at this point. Major, she did fall at the congressional meeting. Yeah, she did. What's up, my feed? Happy freedom to you. DEFCON, she's very top heavy. She'll fall very quickly. She's not top heavy in the fun way though. Sorry to hear that, Peyton. Happy freedom to you. Guess I don't know. Where's the Beck Frank? Goth. Well, Kevin inspired me with the shingles comment. I missed it. I will make sure to give Kevin credit too. What an honorable hooligan. Guess I have standards, just really low ones. That's alright. That's alright. Oh, that's crazy, Matt Rogers. I'm sorry to hear that. I wonder how come Annette doesn't hop in the chat anymore. Meta, no, she changed direction. Yeah, I think she woke up to her own bullshit. Meta, ridiculous. Yeah, she was being ridiculous. Rich, they don't need hepatitis B vaccines at birth. Yeah, I agree. Vision, my website sucks balls. Why is that, Visions? Damon Walker, money for nothing. She gets her pills for free. Isn't that the life of a grifter? She's the super grifter out there. Vision, what about the chip clips? I gotta ask Alistair about it. I was just talking to him earlier. Samantha Warren, the drug company spokesperson that wants health insurance to pay for a vaccine when it won't pay for life-saving surgeries and basic medical equipment. Yeah, exactly. What's up, Musky Boss? Happy freedom to you. Thank you for reposting the live. All right, hooligans. We're going to move forward here. Like I said, we got Massey promises Epstein transparency. Now, a lot of this sounds really good. And it, you know, it probably is a good thing. But I don't think it's going to make a difference in the grand scheme of things. I just don't. I just don't. Either way, we'll talk about it after we get through the video. Make sure you hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube. And let's get into this.
Women today, one thing that they said that they are willing to do if these documents don't get released is compile their own, basically, list of people. Women today, one thing that they said that they are willing to do if these documents don't get released is compile their own, basically, list of people around Jeffrey Epstein and release that. You actually said tonight that you have a plan to potentially help them with that.
Yeah, so the survivors said that they had decided to compile their own list, but the reality is if they try to release that list, they're going to be sued into homelessness. They will be attacked. They will have death threats. And so what my colleague Marjorie Taylor Greene volunteered to do, and I've volunteered to do as well, is to read that list on the floor of the House of Representatives, because our founders put into the Constitution speech or debate immunity, which says that we can't be prosecuted for what we say on the floor of the House. So we're willing to help those survivors get those names out there. And as my colleague Rokana has said, we trust the public to determine who were donors to the Epstein Scholarship Fund and who were users of the women who were exposed to sexual abuse, to differentiate between those two groups of people.
Congressman Khanna, do you support that, reading the names from these women on the House floor?
I do, but I don't think it needs to come to that. I mean, there shouldn't be burdened to have to come up with the list. You know, one of the things that struck me is some of the survivors said that they themselves had not seen the files. One person pleaded with America saying she wants to try to understand her own memories and she wants to see these files to be able to piece that together. Look, this was such an emotional moment that after I spoke, after the survivors, Marjorie Taylor Greene came over and gave me a hug. I mean, people should have seen the humanity there. And I don't know, after hearing those women, why we just don't release the files. I mean, it actually would make the president look good. He could come out and say, no other president has released the files. I'm releasing the files. My focus right now, and I think anyone who was at that press conference, is how do we get justice and closure for those survivors?
Okay. Now, like I said, it sounds pretty good. And maybe it is good. I don't know. Anytime I get too honest in these topics, everybody gets mad and leaves. But what is that going to do? That's my big question there. What is it going to do? They're saying the survivors are going to make their own list of names, and if they do, they're going to catch a bunch of blowback, which we already know that. Plus, they're going to get defamation lawsuits and all of that. So Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene says that they will read the list out loud on the House floor because they have immunity when they're out there speaking on the floor. Now, like I said, this is going to be good for getting clout from Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene. But what is this actually going to do for the survivors? Because most people don't even watch that shit. But when this happens, of course, there's going to be clips all over the internet. And everybody's going to see that. But everybody already believes that most of the people on Capitol Hill are on the list. And so, say they do this, which they plan on doing it. We all hear these names from a list from the victims. What is that going to do? Because we can't do anything to those people. We're not supposed to, according to the law. We can't go arrest these guys. We can't go investigate if these names on the list have merit. We can't do anything about it. It's just going to give those people stigma, which, like I said, we already have our own little list in our head of who we think is on the list. The stigma is already there. So what is this going to do? It's not going to do anything. I think it's going to be a bunch of nothing. And they're going to celebrate it like this is a great thing. And like I said, MTG and Massey, they're going to get clout off this. They are going to gain something from this. But the survivors, what are they gaining? Look, it looks good. Yeah, you get a whole 10 minutes on the floor. Woo! But what is that going to do? That's not going to put people in jail. That's not going to stop human trafficking. That's not going to shut down any other operations that are going on, just like the Epstein one. I don't think this is going to make a difference. And I think this is going to be how the show ends. I think that this is going to be it, and they're not going to talk about the Epstein stuff anymore, and everybody will forget about it, and President Trump will continue to call it a hoax. And that'll be it. And that's just what I think, and I know people are leaving, they're getting mad and hitting the thumbs down and all that other shit, but this is legitimately what I think is going on. I don't know. It's too bad. Next up, we got UMass Lowell campus lockdown lifted after report of a person with a gun. Now, this is another doubly here that we're going to play back to back because the video, the first one we're going to play apparently happened yesterday, but I missed it somehow. School went into lockdown. Somebody was spotted with a long gun. Today, another video came out. It's titled, New Video Shows Boy with Airsoft Gun That Triggered the UMass Lowell Security Scare. We're going to play both those back to back, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about MTG and Massey going to say the list of names on the House floor. Thank you so much, Ramsey, for that $5 donation over on Rumble. Really appreciate you, Ramsey. Thank you so much for the support. It says, side note, a leader is my, what is that word? Presbytery? I know I didn't say that right. Will be on Timcast tomorrow night. Doug Wilson, Base Christianity, is back. It's badass, Ramsey. Thank you for letting me know. I'm actually going to look that up. One, so I can remind her, and two, so maybe I can get a clip of it or something for tomorrow. You're badass, Ramsey. Thank you so much for the support. All right, hooligans, reading through. And like I said, we got a lockdown false flag that happened yesterday. Snooks, I'm good with MTG doing it. Yeah. Matt Rogers, those women should already be in protective custody. I agree. Yes, I agree. What's up, Jack? Happy freedom to you. Guess Clinton was already named by one victim. Yeah, see, well, and that's what I mean. Like, a lot of people think Bill Gates was there. A lot of people think that the one dude in the wheelchair that couldn't talk and had the electric wheelchair, whatever the fuck that guy's name is, a lot of people think he was there. I mean, it's a long list, right? It's a long list of people that every, like us, you know, regular, we the people, we have a list of people in our head, like I said, that we believe was already there. Putting more people in our head isn't going to do anything. People need to go to jail. That's what needs to happen. Major Presbytery. Oh, I see what you're saying. Thank you, Major. I couldn't figure it out. God, can't the survivors at least sue the estate of names? Let's see, if names are made public. Well, they're the ones making the names. That's the thing. there's nothing saying this isn't going to turn into a defamation lawsuit, because they're just going to compile a list of names based off memory. There's no evidence pointing towards any of that. And so, like I said, this is, you might as well be screaming those names into the wind. It's not going to make a difference. Thanks so much, Cass, for that $10 donation over on Rumble. You're awesome, Cass. Thank you so much. Says, gotta head to Handy News and Mod. We'll see you all at the raid, though. I'm praying to remind JeffMAC, too, to get back to Handy. They're good friends of mine as well. Won't steer you wrong. Love and hugs. Well, thank you, Cass, and let them know I am going to respond to Handy News right after the live. I forgot. I got working on the website, and next thing you know, it was 5 o'clock in the morning, the birds were chirping. Thank you, Cass. I appreciate you. Thanks so much, Ramsey, for that $5 donation over on Rumble. Thank you, Ramsey. I really appreciate all the support. It says, make a note now, hook up with Handy News. Don't forget, just do it. Okay, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to put a page to the side so I won't forget. All right, I did the thing. Thank you for reminding me, and thank you for the support, Ramsey. You're awesome. Stephen Hawking's, yeah, I guess that's who I was talking about. Yeah, I appreciate you, Major. Told to care innocent until proven guilty. Don't forget this. Why did they wait until now? Yeah, that is a good question. How come the survivors, they're calling themselves, how come they didn't speak out until now? I guess they were saying yesterday, now that I'm thinking about it, because we covered the press hearing or whatever that they did, the survivors talking to the press, they were saying that they were afraid until now, and they were talking about how the Jufree survivor eventually died. She smoked herself, and then she was like, you know, before that she was hit by a bus or something, and it was just like ongoing or whatever. They were saying that they wanted to get the information out, or they thought it never would. But I don't know. It seems very timely. Danon, then it will be he said, she said. Yeah. And that's the thing, is I don't think that this is really going to do much at the end of the day. Rich, they can give out names, but they got to have proof that it was done. Otherwise, they can sue for slander and hearsay. Yeah, exactly. Now, that's why they're doing it on the House floor, is because they have immunity. So when they go to the House floor and they go and say this list of names and they call them all pedophiles and stuff, there's nothing that can be done to them because of the rules of the House. But what's it going to do? You know, I don't think we're going to get any conclusion from this. I appreciate you, Cheeky Chops. Brad, the FBI has all the evidence. Yeah. They're not going to do anything about it, though, because they already said they've gone through all the paperwork from the Epstein stuff, and they have no evidence to prosecute any third party criminally. That's what they're saying. So even when this list of names comes out, unless they open new investigations, it's not going to matter. It's just not going to make a difference. Tim Walker, you're too funny sometimes. I try. Good Lord, guess some. Meanwhile, on Epstein Island, I don't know, I kind of said it like it was a Scooby-Doo episode. Not good. Either way, moving forward here. Like I said, we got this doubly. We're going to play back-to-back. Also, I forgot to tell you guys, go post your memes. Go post all of your memes over on Discord or on jeffmaclive.com, because we're going to read through the memes on Saturday. So if you want to be featured on Free Speech Saturday, go post your memes. Either way, we got this doubly coming up about University of Massachusetts. Yesterday, they had a scare. There was a person seen with a long gun, so the school went into lockdown. And they were in lockdown for a long time. Now, I don't know exactly how long, but they say hours. and they all sound like they hated the entire experience. Today there was an update, and they realized the person wasn't, the event wasn't as serious as they originally thought, is what I'm trying to say. Either way, hit that like button. We're going to get into this doubly, and let's get this rolling.
Very panicked. A lot of people were crying and freaking out.
And who could blame them? First at 11, a lockdown in Lowell. UMass Lowell's first day of classes brought to a halt after reports of a person with a gun on campus. Police don't believe the suspect is near campus tonight, but authorities are staying here on scene overnight, watching the dorms closely. Thanks for staying up, everybody. I'm Dan Janik. Patrice is off. This lockdown right here sending shockwaves across the campus. The night team's Leanna Falk is live in studio after speaking with some students there. Leanna?
Dan, what should have been a routine first day quickly turned into hours of fear and confusion for UMass Lowell. Tonight, the lockdown is over, but questions remain.
One of those things where you never think it would happen to you.
A surreal start to the school year at the University of Massachusetts.
Until here we are, getting the notification on our phone.
After a video circulating online sends police, drones, and even a SWAT team to the Lowell campus. The 8-second clip appeared to show someone with a long gun walking near Riverview Suites.
Usually see stuff like this online, and you don't really ever think it's going to happen to you. So
lockdown orders kept students barricaded inside dorms, classrooms, and bathrooms for hours.
There were a couple who were more emotional than others. Some people were, I don't know, no one really knew what to do.
I was like, oh my God, this is actually happening to me. This is serious.
Freshman Elaney says she spent those tense hours hiding in the school library, calling family and clinging to social media for updates.
I was crying. I was like, Mom, please help me. I don't know what's going on. I was petrified for my life.
UMass Lowell police stressed this was not an active shooter incident. No shots were ever fired and no one was hurt. Police believe the suspect left campus and there is no danger to the public or campus community. Students like Abby Cooper say campus still feels safe, but fear lingers.
I'm human, so it is very scary knowing that he is still out there.
And for Elaney, her very first day of college was unforgettable for all the wrong reasons.
I hugged her immediately. I saw my dad. I was just so relieved that I was able to make it out of that situation.
And Lowell police say they will maintain a large presence tonight and tomorrow. Classes and events will also resume in the morning. Live in studio, Leanna Falk, NBC 10 News.
Okay, so like I said, it's a doubly. That is from yesterday, and somehow I missed it. This is our follow-up video, and like I said, they found out that the situation was not as serious as they originally thought. Now, this person with this airsoft gun is not using it responsibly. Technically, I think they broke a federal law and all this other stuff, but at least there wasn't a real shooter. Go ahead and hit that like button, and let's get into this.
We have new video of yesterday's scare at UMass Lowell. Police say that's a juvenile and that weapon he's carrying is a fake. Our Peter Eliopoulos is live in Lowell. And Peter, you've been talking to people who saw this whole thing go down.
Yeah, that's right, Jessica. And, despite authorities saying that this was a replica gun, that didn't take away from the fact of how just scared that students were here yesterday. And we're now seeing for the first time a close-up of that airsoft gun. Lowell police sharing this photo where you can see where it looks like a real rifle. And the orange cap on the end that indicates it's not a firearm was clearly removed. Now, this is what shows that boy running down the street near UMass Lowell, pointing and firing that airsoft gun yesterday. That prompted students to shelter in place and barricade themselves inside of classrooms and dorms.
I don't understand where a kid would even get even a toy gun that would look that real and that big, and to have him walking home from school with the backpack on, pointing it like that's kind of crazy to me.
Because it wasn't an active shooting, there will be classes tomorrow. Yeah. So it kind of diminished the scaredness that we felt.
Now you can hear there are some students upset at the decision to keep classes on schedule for today. Some telling us even though it wasn't a real gun, they're traumatized and we're scared to go back to class. The university is offering trauma specialists, counseling services, and therapy dogs. Now Lowell police say that they have identified that juvenile who was carrying that gun, but they are not saying whether or not he's facing any charges. We followed up with them to check to see if that was the case, but they never got back to us. Well, live here at UMass Lowell, I'm Peter Eliopoulos, WCVB News Center 5.
Deploying therapy dogs and everybody's getting mental health day off, and all this stuff. Oh, it was just an airsoft gun. I still can't make it into school today. I am so sorry. I've been traumatized. Now, I understand it could be a scary situation, you know, like in the first video, they said they were crying, and they were all barricaded and crying and stuff, so I understand that the situation was scary, and they thought something really bad was going to happen, and that is traumatizing, and maybe I just think it's funny, because I've experienced so much trauma in my life, but to me, it's funny to be on the next day and be told it was an airsoft gun. They did figure out, you know, who the person with the gun was and all of it. Like, basically, the situation is resolved. There's a conclusion and all of that. No bad guy with a gun. It was a false alarm. Well, I'm sorry, I still can't make it today. I've been traumatized. Like, that don't help your trauma. You were never under any real threat. Like, that doesn't make you feel better. You survived it. Like, what are you talking about? I don't know. It just... Some people are fucking soft, man. And like I said, I understand the scariness of the situation, everything, but if you need a therapy fucking dog after that, like, you're too soft for life. Just end it all, because you ain't gonna fucking make it. Wait till you're in your 30s and you got back pain for no reason. You know, like, just, I don't know. Anyways, first day of classes, video circulating online shows a person with a long gun walking near the school. Sent the school into hours-long lockdown. Then today they found out it was a minor with an airsoft gun. Now, the orange cap from the airsoft gun was removed. Now, I believe that's a felony, unless I'm just totally wrong on that. Maybe I am wrong on that, but I believe it's supposed to have an orange cap on it. The cap was removed. They mentioned it in the video. Now, then they show this soft-ass student who's saying, well, how could he even get a gun like that? What's he doing walking around? Why would he be able to afford a fake gun that looks like that? They sell this bullshit at Dunham's. They sell it everywhere. They sell it at Walmart. I don't know if they still do or not. This is like not a big deal. The airsoft guns are not that fucking dangerous. You're supposed to be 18 or older in order to buy one. It's supposed to have the orange cap on it. That was a minor. He was not 18 and it did not have an orange cap. So obviously somebody provided it to him. He might have removed the orange cap. I don't know. Go talk to his mama, because somebody knows about the shit. Either way, even though it's a fake gun and it was a child with the fake gun, they still did their best to fearmonger the story, to make everybody feel scared and, oh my God, they were lucky this time, but next time it could be a real shooter. Just be really fucking scared of the guns. And then they mention not knowing if any charges will come to the minor. No, I'll just tell you right now, no, that's not going to happen. They're not going to charge the minor. Shouldn't have an airsoft gun waving around like that, right? Everybody here has been told when you were a kid, do not point fake guns at cops and shit like that. Now, it doesn't mean this little idiot wasn't taught that. You see him waving it around and stuff. He shouldn't have had it. The orange little tip should not have been removed, but at very most, I expect his mom or whoever the fuck is raising him or not raising him to get a firm talking to. They're going to censure that boy's parents. That's it. Like, I really doubt any charges are going to come. It's fucking stupid to kind of even think that they would bring charges against this kid. Go tell him, don't be waving fake guns around. Don't be wiping the orange tip off of, the toy guns. Live a little longer. Don't be a dumbass. That's the most I assume is coming out of this. Either way, next up, we got something that's a little bit more serious. Woman's face was broken in Chicago by a repeat offender with 13 mugshots. Now, that's not exactly a false alarm there. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about this scare over on UMass. J-Spray should be treated like a bomb threat. Yeah, I agree. You'll shoot your eye out. Guess I'm orange cap bad. That's what it is. Matt Rogers, Walmart. You can get them at Walmart, dumbass. Yeah, exactly, Matt Rogers. That's what I was thinking when I was saying, what do you mean? How could somebody get a gun like that? I don't know. You ever left your fucking house? Because I barely leave mine, and I know where to go get airsoft guns. Like, come on, man. Too much fake outrage. Guess he didn't look like that gun was that long. Overcompensating. What's up, Glamour? Happy freedom. Klaus is a 10-10 loaf. You hear that, buddy? 10 out of 10. You're fantastic. You a good boy. So, Sly Dog, happy freedom to you. DEFCON, you can stack multiple BBs in an airsoft gun and turn it into a burst round airsoft. I've never thought about doing that. I've never had a full auto or anything like that. WMM, he used to be into those airsoft guns. Shroomish. All I needed was a shot of Jack and pliers. No therapy here. Yeah, Shroomish. There's nothing wrong with therapy. And I know people are going to get bent out of shape. I just ain't come across the comments yet. It's just goofy to be like, hey, you know, yesterday we were all scared and in a lockdown. Well, we found out I was a kid with an airsoft gun and we weren't actually in any danger. And they're like, oh no, oh no. Like 20 years from now, they're going to be sitting there unable to work because of that one day where a child walked by with an airsoft gun and they thought it was an active shooter situation. Just give them their disability check now. They're not going to be able to make it because that one day there was a false alarm. I don't know. Stupid. Sled Dog, how to get DED dead. Yeah, it's not good. Walking around waving fake guns. I'm surprised they didn't say the child was having a mental health crisis. You know, that's what it's always a mental health crisis. Duh, and airsoft is fun. Stings less than paintball. Yeah, it's true. Guess I was traumatized, and they sent me a gerbil. What'd you do with that gerbil? Guess we know you got videos. Meta an emotional day. Gotta spend the day crying. There was a kid with an airsoft gun that walked by. What's up, Carpet Dog? Happy freedom to you. Carpet Dog. That sounds like a name for a dirty hoo-ha. I'm sorry. I know it's not Saturday. I just had to share my thoughts with you guys. I couldn't just be left alone with my thoughts. What's up, Jagula? Happy freedom. If I can get you already. This is where little Billy went to the dark side. What's up, Leonard? Happy freedom. From Missouri. Appreciate you joining us. Jagula, they sell it at the convenience store. I know that kid's never been to a Walmart before. What? What's the deal? You crossing the bridge to Terabithia? Come on, big fatty. Jesus loves us. Yes. You gonna speak to the troops? You gonna tell them? We ride at dawn. Yes. Big and fat. Big and fat. That's how we like them. Furry too. Anyways, moving forward here. Guess wife shot me with an airsoft gun yesterday. Ankle was pissing blood. Good lord, here juicer eating hot peppers and getting shot with airsoft guns. It's quite the honeymoon. J Spray the rapist. He's a cat. Okay, calm down, J Spray. Jesus loves us. Snooks, I think you're going through puberty. Your voice is getting deeper. No, I had to scream at the computer a little bit earlier today. Keeps my voice nice and raspy. What's up, Lone Wolf? Happy freedom to you. Especially frozen marbles. Come on, guess Oh. You left Mac the Goat speechless. It was too much. Stick that big meow meow in your guys' face. You like that? I'd melt if some girl said that to me. Holy. Anyways, moving forward here, like I said, woman's face broken in Chicago by repeat offender with 13 mugshots. But nah, don't send the National Guard there. There's no crime in Chicago. It's a lovely place. Go ahead and hit that like button if you haven't already. And let's get into this.
A Chicago man with at least 13 different mugshots finally sits behind bars this morning after years of randomly attacking women on the street.
Yeah, while Governor Pritzker insists that there is no crime problem in the Windy City, this latest assault victim isn't buying it, and she's calling for federal help from the White House. Newsmax crime correspondent Jason Matera has the story.
He stood there and just watched me bleeding on the sidewalk.
It was supposed to be just another Tuesday night. Kathleen Miles heading home from work on August 19th. That's when the nightmare began.
He broke my face.
Kathleen never saw it coming. A man got between her and her coworker and unleashed a punishing blow.
I was unconscious for 15 to 30 minutes.
And the suspect, he just stood there.
He split open my left eye. I have a broken temporal bone. I have a broken orbital bone. My nose was displaced.
Police arrested William Livingston on the spot. But what Kathleen didn't know, she wasn't his first victim. Not even close. Livingston's record is a career resume in violence. More than a dozen arrests, the bulk of them for brutalizing women on Chicago's streets.
It's not okay that he just continues to get another chance.
Back in 2022, he attacked multiple women within minutes. After a short prison stint, he was back out to strike again in 2023, 2024, and now 2025.
What's wrong with our system? No one is held accountable for their actions. I don't feel as much joy and happiness as I did in the past walking through Chicago.
Thanks to Chicago's revolving door justice, Kathleen is left trying to rebuild her life after what she thought would be a routine commute home.
I'm still not able to drive a car. I can't handle walking for long periods of time without getting dizzy.
And while Governor Pritzker insists that Chicago doesn't need any federal help, Kathleen says that's easy for him to claim. He wasn't the one sucker punched by a repeat offender with more mugshots than fingers.
I would welcome President Trump into the city to make changes because what's currently happening is not working.
Mark Charlotte, a Chicago judge, finally thought like, hey, maybe William Livingston shouldn't be roaming the streets freely, so he's being locked up while he awaits trial. But just to underscore what a menace he was, and is, in 2024, one of his female victims was 15 years old, only 15 years old. He punched her, didn't even serve a year in prison, and was out on the streets to do it again. But, you know, Chicago doesn't have a crime problem.
I just don't understand. There should be a limit on how many mugshots you get before you're locked away forever. 13 mugshots. This is unbelievable.
3
and my
mugshots
heart,
and you're out?
Yeah, my heart goes out to this woman. That's absolutely terrible. Jason, thank you.
Information.
Okay, so like I said, a little bit more serious there. Holy, they didn't even say what this guy's being charged with. They claimed that he hit her once and he hit her so hard he broke her face. Then he just stood there and watched her bleed out. He has 13 mugshots, which means that he's been processed 13 times. He has a history of attacking women in the streets of Chicago, and now she can't drive or walk for long distances without feeling dizzy. She wants President Trump to bring in National Guard in order to clean up Chicago. And that criminal is currently waiting trial. But like I said, they didn't tell us what he's being charged with. I think that they should charge him with felonious assault with intent to cause great bodily harm, considering he has such a record of doing the same thing over and over again. It's not self-defense. There's nothing prompting it to happen. He's just out there attacking women and stuff like a big fucking sissy. Next up, we got the last little bit of the news before we get into the fun stuff. It is Lefties Losing It. This one's titled NBC Regrets Taking on J.D. Vance. Of course, that's going to be a plethora of lefties losing their marbles. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat and see what you hooligans think about this serial face puncher from Chicago. Here, Juicer, married 3 weeks and she's already whooping my ass. Isn't that what you got married for here, Juicer? It's part of the deal, right? Guess I can't read that out loud. Everybody's going to be all mad at me. What's up, Italian? Happy freedom to you. What's up, T1? Happy freedom to you. Ramsey, accountability is key. I'm all for caning people and upping the use of, what is this? Use and speed of capital punishment. Yeah, Ramsey, we need accountability big time. Otherwise, things will never change. Magic Moon charged the governor with dereliction of duty. Yeah, they should. They absolutely should. Goth, oh crap, that's the same dude. Drugs are bad. Okay. Yep. You're right. Jesus, people, there is no fear of God anymore. Most of these people aren't even taught about God. They get pushed away from God by people who preach about God. You know, do what I say or you're going to hell. That kind of stuff pushes people away from God. Plus, people in Chicago ain't being raised. They're just out there in the streets. What's up, High Plains Drifter? Happy freedom to you. Goth. It's too bad a victim of crime like that can't sue her government for aiding and abetting. Yeah, I mean, you're onto something there that you should be able to. We pay those people to work. We pay for them to live the life they live. They should keep us safe. Clamor Italian stalking you, and then you both landed over here? Is this where the stalkers hang out? I didn't know. DEFCON, I kill you until you die from it. Is that how it works? What's up, Sage Pup? Happy freedom to you. Ramsey, there's no fear of God because church has failed to enforce his law. It's because people focus too much on the building, the church building, and not us being the church. That's where it all went wrong. So, Scotty, happy freedom. What's up, Alex King? Happy freedom to you. Public shaming of all enablers. That's the best we got, though. You should be able to throw stones, you know. We should bring that back. Alex King, vote blue if it's cool with you. Yep. All those pedo sympathizers vote blue. Glamour, I keep thinking you're saying hail in the chat. I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that. I saw Glamour doing the Elon salute. I was like, nah, put your hand down. Don't do that. Klaus was all offended. Anyways, moving forward here, like I said, we're getting in the last little bit of the news. This is Lefties Losing It. It's this one is titled NBC Regrets Taking on JD Vance. Nah, they love JD Vance. Come on now. Come on. I think these Democrats are just sadomasochists. They want you to like be mean to them and like throw rocks and shit. It gets them off. Either way, hit that like button if you haven't already. And let's get into this. That's Rita's O-face, by the way.
And it's time for Lefties Losing It. Let's start with this disgusting display by lefty losers at what should have been a somber moment as Vice President JD Vance and Usha Vance attended the Annunciation Catholic Church in Minneapolis in remembrance of the victims of last week's shooting. But idiot lefties had to hijack the moment.
Do better! You're a coward! Do better!
And I'll have more on JD Vance later. But first, let's check in with Joy Reid, who's gone from taunting people in tears to being in tears.
Wipe your own tears, and for God's sakes, stop whining. It's embarrassing.
I'm sorry. That what I was doing had value.
No, your show never had any value other than for my segment. Now, just last week, Joy Reid was claiming white people have never invented anything. Well, her latest claim is admitting that she's a product of DEI, and she's proud of it.
As many times as I have been called DEI or an affirmative action baby and all that, you know what I never get? Mad. Because I actually am very much in favor of DEI. I don't take that as an insult because I understand that that means that I'm just damn excellent and innovative. And yeah, I am DEI. I'm bringing diversity, and that's bringing something great. You're not insulting me. If you say, oh, you're an affirmative action person that got into Harvard, I'm like, yeah, I got into Harvard with affirmative action, and Yale, and Brown, and also, Vassar, and the University of Denver.
Yep, some bright, hardworking young Asian probably missed out on the opportunity of a lifetime, so Joy could take advantage of DEI. And what an education she received. This mad banshee is now claiming that Donald Trump was never shot. It's one thing to have these crazy thoughts in your head, Joy, but she's sharing them on the World Wide Web. Here she is with fellow former MSNBC host Katie Fang. And folks, get ready to be assailed by a weapon-grade crazy.
He's got these magical doctors who claim that he was shot in the ear, but his ear, I guess, grew back. He had a Duplo bandage on 1 minute, no bandage the next. We can't get a medical record from this alleged assassination. He was supposedly shot. We have nothing. We've got nothing.
Where are the investigative records? One day he slapped his maxi pad on his ear. The next day the ear is totally fine.
It's fine. And I remember being in mainstream media where we both used to work saying, isn't it odd that we've never asked for his medical records? And I got in trouble for that. The mainstream media isn't demanding his medical records. They're not demanding anything. They're terrified of this man. And now that the people are speculating that he might have died, we only get that online, but mainstream media is acting like...
I think that's an Asian dude there.
That's because his fine joy, your crazed fantasies and wishful thinking are not substitutes for facts. Now to the man who could have been vice president, the uniquely awful Tim Walz, Tampon Tim. Here he is talking about the false reports of Donald Trump's death, and he tells his sad supporters to remain hopeful that the president will die. What an utterly hideous human being this commie weirdo is.
You get up in the morning and you doom scroll through things, and although I will say this, the last few days you woke up thinking there might be news. Just saying. There will be news sometime, just so you know, there will be news.
Hideous stuff. Even Stephen Colbert, yes, the stage 4 TDS sufferer Stephen Colbert, made it clear to his audience that no decent person hopes for the president to die.
This weekend, the biggest story was frenzied social media rumors speculating whether Donald Trump had died. For the record, Donald Trump is very much alive, okay? And no, we like our presidents alive. Donald Trump is very much alive, and this whole crazy rumor started simply because Trump had 0 events on his schedule Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday.
And the man who wants to be the next Democrat president, and he is a front runner because the Democrats have a dangerously shallow talent pool, and Gavin Newsom, like any good lefty, isn't above whipping up hysteria and indulging in all sorts of lies and hyperbole.
I don't think Donald Trump wants another election. You think for a second you want... I have 24 Trump 2028 hats. His folks keep sending me.
There you go. There'll be no more elections because there's a baseball cap with Trump 2028 on it. It's a joke, Gavin. That's why people are sending it to you. And he wasn't done there. Here he claims that Donald Trump does not want immigrants to vote in 2028.
You think ICE is not going to show up around voting and polling booths to chill participation? You know that. The National Guard, you know that. Everybody knows what's at stake, so we have to put a stake in the ground and do things differently.
Did Gavin just admit something there, that illegal immigrants may in some cases be voting? Because legal migrants have zero to fear from ICE. They're not intimidated, and various polls have shown that they're in fact in favour of Donald Trump's deportation program. Now, whoever the Democrat candidate is, they're likely to face one of the very best politicians in US history. It's a big statement, I know, but JD Vance is the whole package. His intellect, his conviction, his personal history and achievements, his beautiful family. He is the perfect candidate, and the media still haven't worked that out. They think they can take him on. The media are slow learners, and that's certainly the case when it comes to NBC. Here is host Krista Welker trying the old people are saying routine with JD Vance regarding the raid on warmonger and serial leaker John Bolton's property. The VP wasn't having it.
You know, a lot of people have already looked at this and said, this looks a lot like retribution. Is this retribution?
Well, who has said it looks a lot like retribution, Kristen? A lot of people who tried to throw Donald Trump in prison for completely fake charges that were later thrown out by multiple different courts.
And the Vice President explains here about the impact illegal immigrants have on elections because they are counted in the census. And that costs American citizens real representation.
We had way fewer House seats than we should have. One, if the Democrats hadn't aggressively gerrymandered, and two, if illegal aliens weren't counted in the census for purposes of apportioning congressional seats. The best estimates I've seen is that in California, for example, has 5 additional congressional seats than it should have because they count illegal aliens for the purpose of apportioning representatives. Meanwhile, Ohio, my home state, lost a representative. We're literally losing representatives for American citizens in order to give congressional representation to illegal aliens. Republicans are trying to balance out the scales a little bit for basic fairness and for the integrity of our democracy.
Joining me now is Newsweek's senior editor.
Okay, so that is lefties losing their marbles there. And that is the last little bit of the news I have for you hooligans today. We are going to be getting into the fun stuff. We're going to be opening today's door of the Advent Calendar sent by Tori Wayne. And we got our 2 funny videos of the day. First one was provided by Simply Witchy, and it's titled Breaking News. And our official funny video of the day was provided by 10 Man, and it's titled Early Bird Gets the Worm. But first, we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about these lefties losing their marbles. Guess if we voted based on package, I'd be president. Is that how it would go? Guess everyone's gonna be voting for you here in a second. Guess I love Rita. Totally cared. Nah, payback's a bitch, not retribution. Yeah, JD just sitting there grinning at her. Sled Dog, JD for president. I think there's going to be a lot of people voting for JD Vance in 2028. We'll see how it goes. We'll be covering it. Magic Moon, wasn't he canceled? I don't know. I don't know if it was him specifically. It was one of those late night talk show people. I don't watch any of them, so I don't really know. Totally care. Where's Tim's tampon? It's in his prison wallet. Joyless Reed looking like a psychopath. She actually looks worse with a hat on. What's up, Hayes? Happy Freedom. Hazards, maybe? Maybe it's Hazards. Either way, I appreciate you being here. Diesel, stake her on the heart. I wouldn't smoke her. Evil like that lives forever. Parabellum, where did her hair go? She cut it off because it was racist. Visions, Vance is a badass jarhead. I think there's a lot of people that are going to vote for Vance. Snooks, if the hat was over Joy's face, she'd look better. I think you're right. Holy, thank you so much, Lone Wolf, for that $50 donation over on Rumble. You're a badass, Lone Wolf. Thank you so much for all the support. It says few doll hairs for the Klaus. Thanks, Jeff. Thank you, Lone Wolf. I really appreciate you. Klaus Daniels, you better wake up. You better say thank you. Okay. Fancy Feast is $30. That's right. That's right. Stand all the way up. See, I'm raising a good cat here. Do you see this? He's nice and polite. That's right. Stand up while saying thank you. You're badass, Lone Wolf. Thank you so much. All right, hooligans. We're going to move forward here. We're going to get into the fun stuff. Like I said, we're going to be opening today's door of the Advent Calendar sent by Tori Wayne. And we got our 2 funny videos of the day. But before we get into this, I want to remind you, hooligans, if you'd like to support the live to keep us running, you're welcome to use the links in the description in order to make donations. You can do that by using PayPal, Cash App, Stripe, Zelle, Venmo, Locals, Buy Me a Coffee, or you can even send crypto. Holy, hold on. Ugh. I'm trying to kick the whole desk over, buddy. You need to sit down somewhere. You just slid everything on the desk. Either way, let me see something really quick. Thank you so much, Sly Dog, for gifting a sub over on Rumble. You're awesome, Sly Dog. Thank you so much for the gifted sub. All right, hooligans, let's see what we get today from the Advent calendar sent by Tori Wayne. Now we're getting down to it. I think this is we got 2 days. Yep, tomorrow will be the last day of this calendar, and then we're moving on to Skyrim. Oh, we got another evolution of Eevee, and I can't remember which one it is. I know it's the fairy type. Not that kind of fairy, guess. Come on, man. Come on, man. We're going to have to Google it because I can't remember what it's called. But it's the evolution of Eevee. I know that. Come on, focus on it. There's nothing brighter than this thing in my hand. Why are you not focusing on it? It's too bright. The camera cannot focus. Either way, thank you so much, Tori Wayne. Really appreciate you. We got like almost all the evolutions of Eevee now. All right, hooligans. Let me check something really quick. And we're getting these funny videos here. Thank you so much, High Plains Drifter, for joining the membership program over on Rumble. And welcome to the family. You're officially a hooligan. Now I appreciate you, High Plains Drifter. Thank you so much. All right, let's get this pulled up. First funny video here, provided by Simply Witchy. All right, this is titled Breaking News.
And now, let's move on to the main news of the two children named Elon and Lux have still not cleaned up their room. Our special correspondent Maria joins us. We will keep you updated on the situation.
Hello, Oliver. The floor is covered with drawings toys and the bed is unmade. In a word, total chaos. There's no doubt that if Elon and Lux don't clean up today, a special service will come and take all the toys away from the house.
That's right, scare those damn kids. Gotta get that room clean. Get into our official funny video of the day. Today it was provided by 10 Man. And this one is hilarious. Come on, do the thing.
Are you having?
Hold on a second. Like I said, this one was provided by 10 Man and it's titled Early Bird Gets the Worm.
Are you having regular bowel movements?
Yep. I take a shit every morning around 5 a.m.
Well, that's good.
Well, not really. I don't wake up till 7.
Well, damn. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. All right, hooligans. That is all the coffee I had for you guys today. I'm going to grab this Linktree link really quick. I'm going to drop it in all the chats. We're going to read through. We got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up next. And then, of course, we'll be raiding out over on Rumble. Alright, hooligans, there is the Linktree link where all of my links are listed. So if you'd like to make donations, join membership programs, or purchase any merch, we'd really appreciate it. All of your guys' contributions keep us running every day except for Sunday, because we got to have a day to recharge those batteries. Definitely go join Discord. Discord is our free hooligan community. It's the best way to be notified every single time we go live. The hooligans are there keeping the conversation going 24/7, and we have 2 news boards to keep you up to date with everything going on around the world. So definitely go join Discord. If you're feeling real saucy, go join jeffmaclive.com. Over on the website, it is the best way to experience it live. Our built-in chat has more ability than any other platform. You will have access to Hooligans Alley, which is our private social media area. You'll have access to the forums. You'll have access to the arcade. You will have access to the AI. You will have access to our advanced messaging system with the built-in group chats. So definitely go get yourself a membership for jeffmaclive.com. It's the home of the hooligans. Like I said, we're going to read through and we got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up next. Guess looks like a pink butt plug with eyes. What? What were you looking at? I'm trying to think. What did we just show? I don't know. I don't know what you were looking at. Here, Juicer, my mom's friend threw all my toys into the fireplace when her kids wouldn't clean. What? Oh, threw all the toys. I thought you said your toys. Threw all the toys into the fireplace when her kids wouldn't clean. I mean, whatever it takes. You gotta make them listen. If you don't discipline your kids, they grow up to be like Antifa, and we don't need any more of those problems. Hey, thanks for being here, Matt Rogers. God, Vance is a badass. I agree. Hey, thanks for being here, Visions. Enjoy the rest of your day. Oh, you guys are talking about the Pokemon figure we got? It's not a butt plug, I don't think. We'd lose the whole thing, okay? It does have a flared bottom, I guess, but I don't know what that's gonna feel like. You know, I'll let you guys know. Give you guys the update. Ramsey. Let me see. Because that would work. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to raid out to Handy News in just a moment. All right, hooligans. It's that time once again. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we are going to be raiding out. We are going to raid Handy News here. So let's get everything put together. Don't forget, hit that like button as soon as you land in the raid. After I click all the wrong buttons here. I got to make sure I do that first. It's mandatory. All right, let's do the raid.
Almost took over as a thing. What's up, JeffMAC?
JeffMAC is raiding the stream. Welcome, raiders.
Hello, getting a raid from JeffMAC tonight. Right on.
Oh, bring the fellow Michigander on screen. Come on.
Come on in, Jeff.
I don't know if he wants to join tonight or if he's going to show up another night. We are going to have him on. We just got to get the timing settled.
Yep, the invitation is sent for Jeff.
Hooligan raid. Evening, hooligans.
Good evening, hooligans.
I'm looking forward to talking to Jeff. Oh, we got all kinds of green sirens off in the chat.
Yeah, for a guy from Michigan, he's pretty low key.
Jeff said he's going to write you after the live, Handy.
Cool. So
Cass
we'll be
put him in a cast headlock.
And he probably liked it.
Yeah.
But to be fair, the only reason I check my messages anymore like the way I do is because so many of you send me so much good stuff to put on the show. I was really bad about checking messages, and now I was even today checking in Discord and everywhere looking for people to see if they sent me stuff. Shout out to the news crew. You are what makes this show great.
He said he did enjoy it. B Random says the Constitution is the line that is never supposed to be crossed by officials, and yet here we are.
Well,
Yes.
I would argue that statement's kind of a misnomer because the officials only exist to uphold the Constitution. It's not that they can't cross it. They're supposed to be.
All right, hooligans. Another fantastic raid. So yes, we will be getting a hold of Handy News. It sounds kind of like they wanted me to be on the show today. I didn't realize that. I should check my messages yesterday. I don't know. We'll see how things go. Either way, I'm going to write Handy back right after the live here. But we're going to read through really quick, and we are wrapping this up. We'll be live again tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time, for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Let's read through. Guess I'm just, let's see, total butt plug, just compared it to a friend's. Yes. You're not supposed to be telling my secrets, guess I'm. What's up, Tommy? Happy freedom to you. Ramsey, thank you, Klaus. Your work is appreciated. He's a hard worker. Guess some man, they are so serious. We're pretty serious, I suppose. Hey, thanks for being here, Visions. How are you just gonna be yawning? Were you not just sleeping? You want the fancy feet? What are you looking at? There ain't nothing in here. You just distracted me. No, you hold on. No. You hold on. You see him getting ready to leap? Come on, man. The fancy feet ain't going anywhere. You'll be okay. You'll be all right. Anyways. God, Trump picking Vance was a gangster move. I think so. I didn't know who he was until Trump picked him. Put all that spotlight on him. All right, hooligans. It looks like we're good to go. Like I said, we are wrapping this up. Why are you tearing my chair up? Jesus loves us. We're wrapping this up, but we'll be live again tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time, for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Go enjoy the rest of your day. Find yourself some good food. I'm going to try and do the same. I don't even know what I'm going to eat today. We'll see. Either way, thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate all of you guys helping me cover the news, and thank you for helping me make the news suck a little less. I really appreciate all of you guys. Like I said, go enjoy the rest of your day, but find your way back to us tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time, for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Huge shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership programs, or purchased any merch. I really appreciate all of you hooligans, and I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much for all your support, and I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.